Hey guys, welcome back. Mike here at Hermes Tutorials. Well guys, today we're going to do something pretty new. It's new to Maya 2015 and it's called Bifrost. Now, I don't know if you ever tried to simulate liquid in Maya using particles or even Maya fluid, but with Bifrost you can pretty much forget about all that stuff. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a very basic setup to introduce Bifrost and to show you the basics. Okay, so what I'm going to start out with is simply create a container to hold the fluid. So I'm just going to simply drag out a cube, pull that up, right click face, select that face, go to edit mesh, and under face, extrude, hit R, scale that in, G to repeat, W to pull down. So there's our container. Okay. Now next we are going to create something to emit the fluid, right? And for that we will simply take an object like a cube, pull that out, pull that up, and we're just going to drag that in until we're sure that it's over our pool, if you will. And maybe we'll just give that some subdivision. Let's do 5 by 5 by 5, that's fine. Okay, and now we are ready to introduce Bifrost, right? So that's very basic and very quick. We got our object selected. We're going to go to Bifrost and we're going to hit create liquid. Okay, and as you can see, it created a box around our object and you see these little blue dots that have formed. Now, while this is created and this is going to emit fluid, we need to make sure that it's not going to run straight through our pool, right? So with that selected, make sure it's selected, shift select your pool or your container in object mode. There we go. And we're going to go to Bifrost again. And we're going to click add collider. And that will make sure that the water collides with our object. Now it's starting to get interesting. We're going to give this like 200 frames. And when we hit play, it's going to kind of cache to simulation. And I'll show you what I mean. So just hit play. And it's running through the frames that we created. And every time you see the simulation um, taking more or showing more, if you know what I mean. And you can already see that it's starting to form. And what it's basically going to do right now is it's going to run through 200 frames until it has the whole deal done. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just wait a sec so you can see what's going on here. And I won't make you wait 200 frames. So it did about 80 so far. I'll pause the video and get back to you guys when it's done, okay? Right guys, so we went through our 200 frames and now you have a pretty accurate representation of our simulation. And you can clearly see that the basin is filling up with water. You see the overflow, you see the splashing, you see the swirling of the water inside the swimming pool, if you will. And I'll just quickly stop this. Now, first of all, what does this look like when you render it? Okay. Now, you can render this in mental ray. So we're going to go to our render settings. Make sure you're in mental ray. Let's see, I'm going to set up global illumination, final gathering. We're going to use caustics because we're going to have light and reflecting surfaces. Okay, let's set the quality tab to about 1.5. In my comment tab, I'll take a fairly large, let's say AT1080. What I'll do is, actually, I'll set up some physical sun and sky. There we go. And let's see what else. That is, I think, enough. Okay. Now this render will take a while, so I'll hit render and see you guys in a sec. Alright guys, so this is our render. Now it doesn't look too spectacular, does it? Now, the reason for that is that obviously water is mainly transparent, right? So to get the effect of water, you need to have, light bouncing off of objects, of surfaces, and so forth. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take this shot and we're going to kind of spruce it up a bit, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our basin here, right click, assign new material. Let's just go with a Lambert. We're going to hit our checkered box. I'm going to select a file and I'm going to look up that file. There we go. Tile texture. I'm going to hit my, my box there. As you can see, it needs some cleaning up. So select that guy. Go to, let me think. Create UVs, automatic mapping. Let's see what we got. Okay. Now, I guess that's good for now. It's obviously not perfect, but for our purposes right now, it's okay, right? Next, we're going to create a ground plane. Right click, assign new material. Let's do a Fong E. Let's make that black. Why not? Okay. We're going to go into our render settings. We are going to turn off our physical sun and sky. We are actually going to create image-based lighting. In my folder here, I'm going to find my HDRI file, and I have a preference, which is this guy right here. Cool. Now, just in case that's not enough light, we're going to create a light, point light. Let's pull that up. Hit 7 on our keyboard so we can kind of see what's going on here. It's not too bad. All right. So we got that. We're going to go back into our render settings. We are going to go to quality, ray tracing. We're going to increase these values to 8, 8, and 12, and 6, 3, and 3. I think the rest is pretty much set up correctly. We'll set up our resolution gate. That's nice. And let's give this another try and see if it looks different. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video again and see you guys when the render is done. Well guys, here's the final render. As you can see, it's a dramatic difference from the previous one. And that is just to the point that, the textures, colors, light, reflection, and so forth have a major impact on what it looks like. Now, in this case, you can see that the water is overflowing like crazy, and you got your water source in the middle. But there are a lot more applications that you can use here. For example, you could put this emitter into a shower head and have the floor and the walls act as a collider. You can put it in a faucet and have the sink act as a collider and so forth. But one really cool thing, and that's what I'm going to do in the next video, is how to have objects fall into the water and create splashes. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial. If you got any questions, as always, let me know. I'll be happy to help if I can. And see you guys next time. Bye.